Vern and Gert explain the Greenland case. Hi, Vern.
Gert, how are you?
Not so well, Vern.
Oh, why not?
Well, my parents just lost a pretty big case involving my sister Katie. I'll tell you all about it when we get to the cafe. Do you want to go?
Sure.
Perfect table.
Coffee, please.
Iced latte for me, please.
Thanks.
Great. Well, my sister Katie went to Greenland Public School from grades 1 through 4, and then my parents decided that she would do better at a private school, Learning Skills Academy, especially since she has ADHD. Later, she got diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome, and Greenland Public School ended up drafting what's called an individual education plan. An IEP for short, it's a plan of action put together for a kid with a disability that talks about goals and how those goals will be achieved. My parents decided that Katie was better off at the private school and instead sued Greenland School District for the amount of money they spent for Katie to go to private school. They sued for tuition reimbursement. They said that Greenland violated Katie's right to what's called a free, appropriate public education by not providing her with special education services back in 2001 and an aide to help her during the day. FAPE is a very important law which states that kids with disabilities are entitled to an education and whatever services they may need while they're in school. They took the case to court.
Another coffee, please.
Coffee too.
So what did the courts decide?
Well, I'll give you that decision. I'll tell you their decision when we get to the park. Oops. Sorry. Anyway. Check, please. So the first court decided that Greenland did in fact break the law by not providing services to Katie as well as an aide. They said that the IEP they later proposed was inadequate, so Katie should have remained at the private school. They gave my parents $48,000.
That's good news.
Well, not really. Then the second court reversed a portion of that decision. They said that the IEP Greenland proposed should have been given consideration instead of disregarded. They did agree with the first court that Greenland should have done more for Katie while she was there. Unfortunately, they denied my parents their request for tuition reimbursement. The reason for their decision was because of a few reasons. First of all, private schools aren't entitled to special education benefits as much as public schools. Reason number two, my parents should have taken their complaint to the state instead of the due process route. And finally, and most important, tuition reimbursement would be considered if Katie was receiving services while she was in public school, which she was not. My parents never provided any sort of notice to Greenland that they were removing Katie from their school. Bottom line is that Katie's transfer to a private school was not as a result of a FAPE violation.
Well, I'm sorry, Gert.
That's okay, Vern. At least now we know. Thanks for listening. The end.